library, I spot a strange book with a big green cat on the cover, an author I've never heard about. Those were my first thoughts when I saw Max Frey's book, The Stranger. Now, only many years later, and after reading the book series a million of times, I took interest in the author, and who I found was much more interesting than I had hoped for. I found two people under the pseudonym of Max Frey, Svetlanos Martynčiks and her husband Igor. Svetlana is a Russian author who was born in Ukraine in 1965 and now lives nowhere else than Vilnius. One day, she and her husband had an idea to write the perfect book. One that would never end, one that would always leave you wanting for more, and, most importantly, one that would be a mix of all kinds of genres, from fantasy and romance to fiction and detective. Now, while they didn't achieve the first one because the book series do sadly end after 8 books, they did, in fact, achieve the other 2 and much, much more. Svetlana created a perfect book world to which you can escape to. A world where you can make happy memories, a world where you can find new friends, a world where you can find yourself a romantic partner. It's perfect, as one would say. But is escaping to an imaginary world always as good as it seems? Escapism is a slippery slope that can easily lead to avoidance. In the book, Max is a young man who lives in our world, and according to society, wastes his days sleeping. But Max considers dreams a really important part of his life. So when he gets the offer to go and live in a magical world, in a magical town called Echo, of course, he takes it up. But when he goes there, he leaves the doorway to this new and wonderful world open, so that anyone who has the capabilities can just wander right in, and that someone is none other than a serial killer. And he starts ruining Max's town, and of course, Max is mad and sad because this is someone from his old world, from the old world that he didn't enjoy very much. And now that someone is ruining this one in where he is actually truly happy. And that is a good analogy of what can happen to us if we don't deal with our problems. Let's say that you need to find a job because you don't have much money, but in your head, you live a perfect life where you have a lot of money and you have a perfect family, but you start forgetting your problems here. You don't want to address them, you just push them away. But we mustn't do that. Max does solve his problems, he does take care of it, and he does take care of the doorway. So we should do the same. We should take care of our real life problems before creating worlds where we can do anything we want. So, escapism, while a good and wonderful thing and something that we should all do, but we should all do it carefully so that it doesn't lead to avoidance. I mentioned before that in Svetlana's world, you can find yourself a romantic partner, and of course, Max did. Now, I mentioned before that in an imaginary world, you can find yourself a romantic partner. But why are we always chasing after love? Why do we forget friendships? Why don't we become friends with the person first? And, well, Max did the same. When he came into the world, Milamore caught his eye. She was everything he would want, and they both started to like each other. But, as fate has it, they got into an argument, and both decided to go into the house of seeking and waiting. In this case, Milamore was the waiting one. She went in, got assigned a number, let's say 9. And then she waited for a man that came in and drew her number. And Max was that man. He came in, he paid, and he drew a number, and in this case, the number 9. So he and Milamore got paired up. Now the house has one very simple but very strict rule. You can only spend one night with your partner romantically. After that, no romance can happen or one of them will die. While Max was born into a world that sort of hates him, he still got the chance to escape into a new one, into a new and wonderful one. And for that, he is considered quite lucky. And Melamore knows that. She knows that if one of them has to die, it will be her. So after spending the one night, they do have to part ways. And of course, Max is sad and he turns to his mentor for help. And the mentor, Joffin, tells him that he should still value the friendship that they had. And during the book series, Max and Melamore do actually still wonderful friends, even though they never pursue anything else romantically. And that shows that even if we are chasing after our crush or after someone we love, we should still consider the fact that we should become friends with them first. We mustn't forget friendships, which are so pure and priceless. So, for all of these reasons and many more, Svetlana's words hold so much wisdom. No matter what you go into looking in that book, you will find it. Maybe you're looking for words of advice, or maybe, like 11-year-old me, you're looking for a funny story to read. And I can assure you that you will find it, and that it will bring you the most important thing to anyone's life: joy.